Hero Club presents Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu. Alright, welcome to an all-new episode of Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu. I'm one of your hosts, Wheelchair21, and with me as always is Projekt.
What up?
Alright, tonight's episode is not going to be heavily Toku-centric, but we will have some topics here and there, and we'll be talking mostly about the New Japan Cup, because, hey man, part of our name is off of a wrestling faction known in Japan and in Mexico, so yeah, we're gonna shed some love on wrestling. But before we get to that, we're gonna be talking, our Toku aspect, which is obviously the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, or just the Power Rangers movie, currently out in theaters this weekend. Now, the red carpet event is going on in Hollywood. There's actual early screenings going on today and tomorrow. And right now, there seems to be a pretty good high reception. Through Snapchat and Instagram, you can see the whole red carpet event going on. And ironically enough, Jaime Saban is having, the time of his frickin' life. He is just, kind of fooling around on the red carpet. A lot of people are kind of fooling around on the red carpet. A lot of people I know are actually there. And, stuff's going down. And so far, we've been hearing, actually, pretty good reviews. A little bit of mixed reception here from our friends at hand. But, yeah, Project, what's your thoughts on the whole story coming out of the red carpet event right now?
I think it's interesting. The fact that certain people are seen together when really, apparently backstage they shouldn't be seen together.
Oh yeah, like for example, the thing that broke the internet: Austin St. John and JDF. They're being nice because Daddy said so. The All-Father Jaime Saban was like, kids, this is for me, not for you. So play nice. And they're like, yes, Dad.
Dad.
So right now, Austin St. John and JDF are actually doing press, taking photos. They at least have someone in between them, making sure they're not really touching one another. But they're on film together for once since One Forever Red, and technically, allegedly, this is the first time they've been together in 22 years when it's not a forced signed contract. They're supposedly there on their own free will, in quotation marks, because knowing people that are a part of the Austin St. John actual, handlers party and the JDF handlers party, the people that have actually worked for them at cons, telling me, yeah, this is their legitimate first ever time, where it's not being forcibly paid, not signed under contract, 22 years actually being in a room and willingly socializing with one another. So that's a huge thing going right now. And the funny thing is the only complaint I'm hearing about this movie from people who have seen it is that it takes quite a while for the Power Rangers to actually show up in the film, and that its morphing time is just a little too serious and not somewhat campy, or at least somewhat expected for an action film, meant for teens and young adults. It's a little too it's morphing time rather than it's morphing time. It doesn't sound animated enough. That's their biggest thing right now. So I mean, Project, probably you're gonna see it this weekend. I'm probably gonna see it not until my birthday or something, because I have no real reason to go see it at this time. There's so many other movies out that I haven't seen yet. So yeah, I mean, we'll talk more about this when we've both seen the film. We expect at least 2 or 3 reviews to be done for Hero Club, whether it be our boys Zeltrax Millennium or Dark on 633, and most likely even Ben, because Ben seems interested. So check out the website. I mean, technically this episode's going to be up on Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning. So probably you'll already start seeing the reviews coming out at that point. But nevertheless, I guess we should start talking about what's going to be going on today. So, we're going to be talking about New Japan Cup that was held over the last few weeks. And what happened was, well, pretty interesting stuff happened.
Well, who did we all predict who was going to win this after we saw the initial press conference?
All right.
Because I think we all had you can agree, we both had Shibata winning this whole thing.
All right, so I'm pretty sure from the natural press conference when they announced that Tanahashi, Evil, Nagata, Tangaroa, Michael Elgin, Bad Luck Fale, Toru Yano, Tamatanga, Katsuri Shibata, Minoru Suzuki, Juice Robinson, Yujiro Takahashi, Tomohiro Ishii, Kenny Omega, Yoshihashi, and Sanada, they were the first ones announced.
Those are the
And
only. Those are like the guys wrestling in the tournament. So I'm pretty sure we either had Shibata. Pretty sure Shibata's for sure number one, and then Kenny Omega. Those two were the consensus favorites, correct?
yeah, going in the two favorites we had were honestly only Shibata, Suzuki, and Omega. We didn't think they were going to give it to Suzuki because one, he just
Shibata.
came off. Well, no, we actually thought we weren't going to see Suzuki get the championship or get the cup because he had just come off that huge 40-minute fight with Okada earlier in February. We knew Tanahashi wasn't getting it because right now they're trying to push him as he supposedly passed his prime kind of storyline where they're either what?
Or he's above title.
Yeah, where they're either trying to I don't know, it's weird. They're trying to do something with Tanahashi that he's either past his prime or that he's going to turn heel. It's kind of a weird convincing story that like outsiders from Japan probably don't know where they're going with this, but people in Japan who see the house shows kind of know what's going to be happening next. But yeah, going in, we thought it was going to be only Shibata or Omega, and the opening round was actually honestly different than I think we chose for our picks going into this.
Our picks went out the door when Omega kind of lost.
Yeah, we lost. Yeah, we lost Omega in the final in
the first round.
In the first round, but the final match of day one, we lost him in the first round of day one, and I mean, we pretty much had a solid showing because I forget. I think Shibata and Suzuki were either match one or match two of day one and day two, and they tore down the house. Kenny and Ishii tore down the house, and honestly, I think they were the best matches in round one.
You're forgetting something, Wheelz. You know your favorite wrestler, Evil. He had a pretty good match with Tanahashi too. Come on.
It was a decent match, but I thought it wasn't as good as people were telling me because somehow I missed that match and I had to go rewatch it just before we recorded the show. It was all right. It was
Wheelz. Come on, you have to give Evil much respect for this one. Come on.
The fact that he won, the fact that he actually won a match is more shocking because he's like Yujiro Takahashi. He just likes to lose.
You mean he eats pins like Sami Zayn does in WWE?
Yeah, he really does. It's ridiculous. But I gotta say, the weirdest thing I saw was that this New Japan Cup had, what was it, 4 or 5 members of Bullet Club?
And they all lost except for one.
Only one guy went on. Only one guy went on because if I recall, we had both of God, right? Gorillas of Destruction. They were taken out.
It's Destiny.
Okay, of Destiny. Gorillas of Destiny. Kenny Omega and Yujiro all taken out. All in round one. And Bad Luck Fale, the one guy that you kind of expected would go into round two, went through. And the other guy that you expected was Omega to go through, and only one of them did.
I expected Bad Luck Fale to lose.
When I saw him against Elgin, I did expect him to lose because any other person he should have gone over. And ironically, Elgin lost. Yeah, Elgin lost, and it was pretty interesting. I think that was probably one of the most confusing things ever. And I think in the entire roster, what was it? There was only one member of Chaos in the entire tournament. No, 2 members of Chaos.
No. Yoshihashi and
Ishii.
Ishii.
Yeah. Toriano, yeah.
Sorry, Yano. No, there's 3.
Yeah, there's 3. Okay, yeah. No, the weird thing is Yano's the only guy that for some reason always gets past round 1. He's that one guy who always seems to get past round 1. I don't know how, but every year I watch it, he somehow gets through.
Hey, Wheelz, you know what? 3 words: Dick Kick City.
Yeah, he kind of went dirty there. Now, here's the funny thing. Round 2, you actually had to go to NewJapanWorld.com and watch just those matches because those were the only ones they uploaded. Because I guess those were at house shows. Right?
Those were house shows because there wasn't even any commentary not even Japanese commentary.
There wasn't. We didn't get commentary until what was it? The semifinal and the final round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, going into the round 2, we were pretty aching. We were like our picks at that point were Shibata to face Sonata, and I think we thought it was gonna end up being Fale versus. I think we thought Fale was gonna go against Nagata for some reason.
we actually thought Tanahashi was gonna beat Evil, and we were about to beat Tanahashi Shibata in the fucking final, because
Yeah, that was
that thing.
when we saw the brackets. That was originally what we thought, was that Shibata was gonna have to go through who we thought was going to be Sonata, which wasn't. It was Ishii, and I will say this right now: Ishii and Sonata was probably my favorite match of round two. Um,
Actually, yeah, you're right.
it was the best one. It really was. Like, Sonata wanted to win. He wanted to win.
Well, don't forget, this is the first time he was featured in a singles match because he's been wrestling tag matches this whole time.
Yeah, a lot of the matches he's had has been forced into tag, and he really came out like this. Like, I will say this right now: in this tournament, he had one of the best showings. Even though he didn't get like all the way to the finals, he had one of the most solid showings in the tournament. Like him, Ishii, and I think Shibata. Like, ironically, everyone from bracket 2 were incredible, and bracket 1 was like, so so.
Hmm?
So I felt that was weird. I remember though the whole hype for him and Sonata. We were pissed at that Ishii went over due to the fact that for like the last 2
We've
years,
seen this happen.
yeah, we've seen it happen. And people are like, oh, you didn't see this happen. New Japan World didn't, like, you guys didn't buy it till like the last year or so. Listen,
It's
we've
called
seen
the
it.
internet.
Yeah, we've seen it happen. We either watch torrents, we either seen it people put it up on YouTube, or I watched it on Access Television. And if anyone that's known me either personally or on social media, I was always applauding their matches. But after a while, it's like seeing Del Rio versus Ziggler, or actually a good John Cena match with Randy Orton at a pay-per-view. It's been there. We've done that.
And don't forget the last match we saw them against here. Shibata took the never open weight heavyweight title from Ishii.
Yeah, like he defended it like 2 other times against Ishii.
And I think he lost it to Nagata and then won it back too. So I think he went on a Legends ass-kicking tour.
Yeah, so in round 2, I really wanted it to come down to Shibata Sonata because, like, just the styles. Like, Sonata can wrestle a good high flyer and a good like mat and power. Like, he's one of those light heavyweights where like he can do it all. He is pretty much able to do it all, like Naito and Tanahashi are, and he's up there. And this really showed off what he could do. And when it came down to Shibata and Fale in the final, I honestly didn't think Fale was gonna last as long as he did. Like, he went almost an entire 20 minutes with Shibata.
18 minutes to be exact.
Yeah, 18:48.
I got it. Yeah, right.
But yeah, so I mean, like, what's your overall thoughts, Project? Like, what, like, it's confusing because like all the matches, like most of bracket 2 was like the gold standard, and bracket 1s were like, whatever.
I'm pretty much in agreement with you as far as like the matches go. Like my picks got thrown out the window as soon as when Tanahashi lost, when Kenny Omega lost. I actually thought Tama Tonga would actually go further than he did, only because for some reason, if you look at Tama Tonga's outfit right now, he looks like a much better dressed Roman Reigns.
I know, he really does. Like, I don't really see much out of his brother, who was what was it? Camacho. I don't really see much from him, but like Tama Tonga has like that look. Of either he's like the badass, like, you know, your heater, your strong man in your tag team, like your true strong man, or like that guy that you could see as like an upper mid carder and maybe like a couple of times main eventing, you know, kind of dude, because he just, like, he looks mean, but at the same time, if you watch some of his matches, he can't keep. He's kind of like unfortunately, he's like his cousin Roman. He kind of breaks, like, I have to be serious for a moment, because there was times where I was watching him like actually wrestle Yano over the course of the last couple of weeks, and he's been like actually laughing his ass off while wrestling with Yano and some of the other guys that are supposed to be his, you know, enemies of the faction. So it's funny how like he's quite, you know, playful, that you can see him on screen, because like when they were doing the match where Yano's running around in a circle and Yoshihashi tags in like the night after, like he's like trying not to laugh, he's trying to be serious, trying to catch Yano, but you can't be serious when dealing with Yano. It's hard to be serious.
It's theoretically impossible to be serious with Yano.
Like, it's hard, like, cause like you just want to laugh and enjoy the moment, because he's one of those guys who can make a comedic match amazing. Like I mean, like, it's a comedy act, but he makes it still so like naturally like it tells a story, like the time he beat Tanahashi in round one of the New Japan Cup and made Tanahashi turn into Christian Cage.
Oh God.
That was like the greatest highlight in my life, Project. Like just seeing Tanahashi freaking out like a baby on the ring.
Let's see, man. I think Tamatonga should have had a better showing. Although he did it all right against Yano, but I think I thought he was gonna go farther.
Yeah, he should have.
But still, like.
And you know what's weird too?
Although he needs to stop.
No, go what you're saying.
You know what he needs to stop doing? He needs to stop using goddamn Carl Anderson's finisher. He should use his own.
Yeah, because what is he using now? The cutter, right?
The gun stun, which is the cutter.
Yeah.
But he does it with his left arm. He does it on the left side.
Mm. And most people that do a cutter normally have to go on the right. Like wrestling's kind of weird like that. Even if you're left-handed, they teach you to do like suplexes on your left side, DDTs on your left side, but do cutters on your right. It's weird. I don't understand the methodology, I guess, of why moves are normally performed via one side or the other. I've never understood that. Like when watching. But it was yeah, it was weird. Like I think also too, there's like this weird thing where like Elgin seems to be over in Japan, but even Japan's like, nah, we don't want to push this guy, which is kind of weird. Like they gave him they gave him an IC belt and they gave him a tag belt run, but it's like they don't feel like they're like, he's a gaijin, who really cares? Like I kind of feel like Elgin's getting screwed.
But if you think about it, right now he's the modern day Scott Norton. Look at him. Look at how huge this guy is.
Yeah,
like how strong he is.
Like I'll agree. Like it's weird. Like I like Elgin, and I don't feel like I think if like as long as he's happy, it seems like it's not a big deal if he's getting held down. But I feel like he is, even though he's okay with it. Because I guess one of the things is, don't forget the camel that broke, like the straw that broke the camel's back, as to why he didn't re-sign with ROH was because of the whole shady, they didn't trust him or he didn't trust them kind of aspect when they took the belt off him. So I can understand that.
I mean, when they took the belt off him because of a visa issue, which wasn't his fault.
Yeah. So like, and like people, and they keep trying to blame it on it was his fault because he was looking at baseball stuff again. But it was like he wasn't actually gonna sign, so why'd you do it? Like they jumped the gun. Like,
yep.
Like they jumped the gun, and so like, and especially if you need a visa or a green card to work in Japan, they're more serious. So like they will actually make sure if you're actually leaving them before time. They're not gonna freak out like supposedly ROH did, which was like probably like the biggest screw up they did.
And don't forget to do background checks if you have a criminal record. That's I don't. but look on the bright side. At least he didn't get caught with spice. Who the hell? What kind of loser does that?
Power Morphicon 2012.
oh, we actually liked him. He's not a loser. Wheelz, you're mean. Why are you so evil, Wheelz? Huh? Is everything evil?
No, screw that. Slap
okay, because the real evil
I'm gonna
is the King of Darkness.
I'm gonna slap him so hard he won't need eyeliner. That's actually gonna be a black eye, bro.
Does it make you the Prince of Evil?
Nah.
Come on, Wheelz, you're both evil. Come on, he has the scythe, you have the chair. You have fantastic branding.
Nah, it's bad branding. You're bad. Terrible. But nah, like it was weird. Like this New Japan Cup, I was like so excited for it, but then honestly I think Projekt 2, like I think I said it day one when I saw the brackets, I'm like, yo, this is gonna suck. And you're like, nah. Like I remember I said, yo, these brackets suck, and you were like in denial. You were like in denial.
And then the prediction came into fruition when the brackets got destroyed in the beginning, opening round. Everything gets destroyed.
I know, I even said that, originally, I think I was trying to stay awake that night. I'm like, nah, man, I can't even do this. I'm like, Projekt, I can't do this. The brackets look like shit. People are gonna go over that we expect, and it's gonna be predictable. All of a sudden, Omega gets thrown out. What? No. That was like the most unpredictable thing the entire tournament, other than that was the most unpredictable. It's kind of screwy that Shibata had the more hardcore running, like he had to go through a gauntlet to become the dude, but like Fale kind of just like walked through every like I think Fale's realest struggle was really Elgin, even though his match with Evil went longer. It was like, well, this is gonna be a hard night, and then rest was like all downhill for him.
Well, he doesn't have the cardio, right? But for a
Yeah.
big man, he had cardio, dude. I'll give him some credit.
I think I really do feel like the Suzuki Shibata opening should have been a closer for one of the days than how they rigged it the one day that we were watching. Like I feel like Omega Ishii should have been like day one, Shibata Suzuki day two, but I think they were like on the same day. Like I'd have to go back and rewatch how they aired the matches, but I think they were on the same damn day. So that was like kind of a slap in the face. Like you get two good matches, but then like nothing really happens. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think there was like a weird payoff. Overall, that like since one of our picks got it, it's still a good thing. I know the IWC is still pissed with Kenny because like there's now this whole pro Resu versus the people coming in because they're huge Kenny marks, not understanding that like these guys are names. Just because Kenny because he's wrestled stateside doesn't mean that no one else under him is not there. Because like I know for a fact on a lot of the forums, Ishii got a lot of shit from fans that don't know jack shit. Like Ishii doesn't look like a guy who could be a main eventer, but yet he's been like a big name in like the revival of strong style. So it's like if you don't know much about New Japan except for when guys like AJ signed with them and other stuff, it's like it's kind of hard because I've seen a lot of mixed reception right now going on because of the
true.
whole boom in New Japan since like the last 2-3 years. I mean, like we're all over the place, but pretty much like we said, like just go watch bracket 2. Don't watch bracket 1, and you'll feel better about yourself. And what is it? Now at the next event he will face Okada, right? At the next one.
April 9th.
So yeah, April 9th we have Shibata Okada. But here's the thing: do you think they're gonna have Okada drop the belt? Because I have a weird feeling they want to keep that belt on Okada.
Cause when's the event in America? July,
Uh,
right?
yeah, but I don't think he's defending the belt there. But
Well,
would
when's the
but here's the thing: would they have him defend the belt in America and have him drop the belt in America? Would they do it just to create a historical moment, or do you think like? Because I don't think they've ever dropped the belt in America. I seriously don't think they've ever changed the belt, dude.
No, I don't think they have.
So I don't think they would. So I don't know when they're I'm pretty sure it is at the 9th, right? That they're gonna face.
They're gonna face us on the 9th.
All right, and I seriously think that Shibata should win it, but a part of me feels like him winning it off of Okada isn't a good idea because they don't really have a real backstory to build up, why. Like we know the story of Shibata why he needs to win. We just don't have the story of there being one between him and Okada, because there's not really anything towards him. If anything, one of the guys Shibata should be taking the belt off of would be a guy like Suzuki or Tanahashi, where there's already an ongoing story with them. You've had that no matter what in his career, Shibata's always come up against Suzuki, and they've had to go back and forth between one another. You've had, Tanahashi, in quotations, just got over his hate towards Shibata for dipping on the company years ago. So that they still have at least a rivalry amongst each other, even though they're now friends in quotations on the card on the storyline. So I feel like for him to take it off Okada is at least one big dog giving the belt to another big dog. But I feel that there's no. I think there's like no story or reward when it happens. If it chooses to happen, if it will happen. Is that the best
We'll
way
see.
to say it? I don't know.
We'll see how it plays out. I'm
Yeah.
pretty excited though, because Shibata number 1.
Well, yeah, Shibata number 1. Damn right, he's number 1. Who else would be number 1?
Well, ain't Tanahashi.
Our boys are gonna hate us over at the WrestleCast because they're super Tanahashi smarks.
Yeah, well, too bad.
Too bad, so sad. Ryder Kiku. All right, and what is the other thing that we were going to talk about? I completely forgot.
Haim Saban is a member of Los Ingobernables.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that during our opening discussion, where during the red carpet event, like he literally like laid out on the carpet and like held an arm up like Naito, Naito during one of the press shots. So if that photo gets out on the internet, you understand exactly what we're talking about. Like he just fell in love with like the entire thing. So I'm trying to remember. I think another discussion topic we had for the episode was the fact that WWE's in talks with ROH
For
again.
what?
Supposedly they're in talks with helping fund ROH. Like they're gonna buy them, but not assimilate them. Like just buy them and be like their backers, supposedly.
Do they get to be put on the network? For the love of God, please.
Yes, supposedly early talks coming out of the event says that they want to make ROH on a weekly show that they will actually heavily feature. Like what they're thinking about doing, from what we understand, is they're gonna help them at least increase their productivity. But
I mean, their production values.
yeah, like a lot, like have like better cameras, so like when they're on the road, it doesn't look like everything looks like something is still filmed in like the late 80s, early 90s. If you watch some of it, like how is it when you have HD cameras, does your filter still look like you're filming in the 80s and 90s?
You mean like what TNA does?
No, it's worse sometimes when I compare it side by side.
Are you serious?
When I've compared it in the past, like it seems like they don't bring their good cameras to every event. It looked like when TNA, not TNA, when NXT first started going on the road and not filming in the at the college. It looked like the cameras were just poor, like they couldn't get the right light or whatever to get the filter to look good or whatever. It was just very weird. So I mean, from what I understand is they want to boost the production values. They supposedly want to put the show on the network, and supposedly they won't interfere supposedly with it. Like they'll actually do cross branding with them, but that supposedly is just right now in the talks only. Nothing else, nothing more. That's all we've heard from the leaks. So don't really know where that's going. Where's it going? Absolutely nowhere. Who knows?
Who knows?
But pretty much, yeah, that's practically it. I mean, there's not been that much Toku news, really. I mean, you just have the MMPR movie coming out this week. There's stuff kind of going on, kind of not going on. I mean, we have new figures being released, new figures being promoted, but nothing too, outstanding. Like, there's nothing that's gonna catch anyone's eye, like saying that, oh, there's a sequel to, Garo or something. There's nothing really new this week. Just like I said, we have like Figure Arts Skull being a retail release, a Shinshoko Seiho Skull. We have a web shop exclusive Drive type Next from the surprise movie. But I haven't seen really anything outstanding, just because there's been no big reveals. The only big reveal is from anime right now, and that's that we're gonna get, a new Gundam series that takes place right after Universal Century 0096, technically Gundam Unicorn, but the newer version of the Unicorn expanded edition, which is the Re 0096 Unicorn anime series that just was aired on Toonami, Crunchyroll, and in Japan. So nothing too big really going on. I mean, there was false news today, which this one you might like, Projekt. Supposedly, a lot of websites mistranslated Anno in an interview where he was at a musical event for the whole cross promotion with Godzilla and Neon Genesis Evangelion, and he was talking about the next Godzilla movie. But when they translated it, they thought he was already working on Shin Godzilla 2 and not promoting Urabuchi, or I always screw up his name. I just like calling him Ultra Butcher because that's his code name by the fandom. His anime movie coming to Netflix, and people immediately thought Shin Godzilla 2 was coming out. Now that doesn't mean Shin Godzilla 2 isn't really happening, but Anno kind of left it in the dark. He was very vague, and so a lot of people are very skeptical right now. And that's all the main Toku news we've seen for like the last 48 hours, this last week or so. Like, it's been pretty stale. It's been a very, very stale week. So that's why, if anyone's complaining, this entire show was dedicated to just us talking about New Japan. So, got anything else you want to talk about, Projekt, before we kind of wrap up this show and make it a really, really short episode? Our shortest episode thus far?
Was there anything else we could talk about?
No, not really. I mean, we just had a New Japan Cup, the fact that the red carpet event's going on, ROH possibly being bought out, and like I said, Anno accidentally made people believe that there was a Shin Godzilla 2 in the making, even though there could be. We never know.
Interesting.
So I mean, that's really all. I mean, nothing big, nothing booming. It's just
Hmm.
stupid, trivial stuff like action figure news. I feel like the only other thing that there is to talk about is Southpaw Regional Wrestling, but I mean, what isn't there to talk about it? It's a hilarious parody of what wrestling used to be back in the 60s to the 80s.
Yeah, that's about it, man. Damn, that's terrible.
Yeah, we had a very stale week. It's very bland. Like there's just been no huge things. Um oh wait, actually there is something new. I am not making this up. Darkon literally just linked me. So pretty much okay, Projekt. In quote, it says WTF Will. You will not believe how many sequels the Power Rangers movie is getting.
How many?
Supposedly, from what I'm reading in this article, the Power Rangers movie is allegedly already signed to have a total of either 5 films or 5 sequels from just this movie alone. So there's either supposed to be 5 movies or a total of 6. Now I'm trying to read the article, but it seems kind of hazy. Like they don't like from what they understand from the interview, supposedly from the red carpet, is that they're getting 2 different responses. It's either 4 sequels for a total of 5 movies or 5 sequels for a total of 6. So supposedly this thing's going to be overarching into more films, and I'm guessing it's still supposed to be based on the MMPR storyline. However, due to the fact that the Zeo Crystal is in the film, it's stated to be there, we could be getting upgrades every other movie. And just going to the next powers. So that's all I'm seeing right now, is that there's supposedly websites covering, supposedly from the red carpet, that we're scheduled to have more sequels already in production. Now, I don't know how true this is, but this is coming off the red carpet.
Okay, that's cool. That's interesting.
So I guess for our last few minutes, if they're going with 5 films total or 6 films total, what do you want to see coming out of these future sequels? Having not even seen the movie now, what do you hope to see?
Green Ranger, movie number 2. Movie number 3, they beat Rita.
Mm-hmm.
Movie number 4, Lord Zed. Number 5, White Ranger. Did you say 5 sequels?
They don't. The right now it seems there's either going to be 5 sequels or
6
5
movies then, right?
Either they don't know if it's 5 movies or 6 movies because of how the this is. I don't know if it's true, but I see people talking about it now after double checking what Darkon just sent.
Well, because it's usually most franchises are trilogies, so I guess the third movie, the last what's called movie would be like beat Lord Zed. There you go.
Yeah, but since the Zeo Crystal's involved, I don't know. Does that mean we're actually going to upgrade to Zeo eventually? Maybe do these 6 movies actually are supposed to abridge the Zordon era? But I doubt they're actually going to do Turbo or Space. But maybe it's supposed to be like a weird retelling, I guess, of the Powers or some storyline.
Well, so there were rumors supposed to be like Wild Force or like something else.
Yeah, there's weird supposedly at least there's supposed to be something that alludes to the other seasons, but only maybe brief, Easter eggs. But from what we know,
there's a rumor apparently JDF and Amy Jo have cameos.
No, it's actually Yost and Amy Jo.
Is it Yost and Amy Jo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Must have read that wrong.
Yeah, I never saw that JDF had a cameo, unless he actually does have a cameo. I don't know. I do know, though, somebody supposedly spoiled the Easter egg ending, and it does confirm sequel is Green with Evil. So we are getting the Green with Evil movie. Now, some people don't know if it's going to be straight on one full movie, or is it going to be broken into 2 parts. I think you can cohesively take the original Green with Evil story and condense it into one movie. I think it's simple. You just got to take out episode 2 or 3, the one that was kind of filler, and you pretty much can fit it into a 2-hour movie.
Sounds
you can
about right.
adapt it. But that's all I know. That's the last thing I got was that piece of news. So ironically, had we had it sooner, our whole discussion of the MMPR movie would have been more coherent. And we could have ended it on New Japan, but now we have a New Japan Power Ranger sandwich.
Sounds like a terrible sandwich, but you know what? We'll take it. Because you know why, Wheels?
Let's do it. I think I know why. let me take a guess. Let me take a guess, and you tell me if I'm right, because we are Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu.
Hell yeah! Episode over. Goodbye and good night.
Hey, it's Wheelchair21, and thanks again for listening to an all-new episode of Los Ingobernables de Tokusatsu. If you want to hear more content or see more content from the Hero Club YouTube channel, we're going to need you to subscribe, like, comment with some feedback, and share this channel with a friend. We also would like you to check out our website, hero-club.com, and follow us on various social media outlets just by looking up Hero Club for Life, as well as the stores you see are where we shop. Anyways, thanks again, and we'll see you all next time.